Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Fintech Asia Edge podcast. We are bringing you exciting information, but also conversations with entrepreneurs who are deep in the fintech and the finance world. We started off talking about GFF last week and covering the Indian market broadly. Today with us is an experienced entrepreneur who has been working in the insurance industry in India. We have with us Shilpa Arora, who is the co-founder and CEO of Insurance Samadhan. Welcome, Shilpa. How are you doing today?
I'm good. Thank you so much for this invite.
Thank you for joining us. We're delighted to have you today to converse about your journey, but also to look into the insurance and Insurtech market in India. It would be great for our audience to kind of get a sense of your entrepreneurship journey. How did you come into entrepreneurship with Insurance Samadhan? But before that, were you previously a founder, or what made you come together with your co-founder to set up Insurance Samadhan? What was the drivers, basically?
I started my career way back in 95 with a pharma company called Abbott. Worked up the ladder from a medical representative to sales manager. And in 2008, I decided to leave the pharma industry and move to insurance, where I joined Max Life Insurance as a training manager and got promoted as a sales development manager within 1.5 years. This is the place where I met my co-founder, Deepak Bhuvneshwari Unyal and Sailesh Kumar, who were working with me. In the year 2011, I again left Max Life and joined back Abbott, which was my first company, and started working in the market access program, where we were helping the corporates to reduce their claim amount. So by doing all those tests and, we were working closely with the HR and the claims, the brokers, to see if we take care of the thyroid, if we take care of hypertension, sleep disorders, so certain programs, how much are we able to reduce the claim size per year?
Sure.
So there I worked for about 8 years. And then, we had decided in Max.
Yeah. What was your role in Max? You are one of the...
So I was hired as a training manager for the advisors.
The advisors.
And, yes. And after 2 years, I got promoted and I handled 6 branches of Max New York Life for sales training of managers and the advisors. And so I was working with the CP branch, which is a very big branch of Max Life. So most of the customer who have problem would walk into the CP branch, and me, Sailesh, and Deepak would actually address to their concern. There what happened is so many customers would walk in and we'll help them solve the issue. Once a crime branch officer came and his father was missold certain policies. So he came to us for help. And what we realized is that he was able to arrest the person who had missold the product to his father, who was retired and bedridden. But he could not get the money from the insurance company. So there were 6 insurance companies involved. So we worked with him and we could get all the money. So that was the trigger point that, if person of such a high stature, a person who handles the crime branch, himself needs help of people like us, then common person cannot, do the work on their own. And that was the trigger factor. And we were waiting for Sailesh sir to retire. So in 2018, when he retired, so we started Insurance Samadhan. So that was the journey. And we were joined by Sanjay Agarwal, who is the 4th co-founder. Sanjay Agarwal was also missold a product. And he also joined the mission. He's a high court lawyer, so he brought his expertise. Then during the journeys, CTO also joined, who is Ravi Mathur. He also got associated with the cause that we were doing. And that's how the 5 founders came together and we started Insurance Samadhan.
It's a interesting journey, right? And a lot of times in finance, we see co-founders coming together based on a real world problem that they have experienced while working, right? Some of it is conceptual, some of it's like, how can we improve something? But a lot of times it's like, this is a real problem that needs solving, and it's a pain that they have felt themselves, right? Maybe before we go into the journey of Insurance Samadhan, maybe a little bit of a conversation on mis-selling of products, right? We see that happening. It's probably one of the oldest tales in the world. As long as you had investment or money going in, there's people trying to mis-sell the whole element. So a conversation on why this has been prevalent, but more so what are the general rules around it? Whether are they gray, are they soft? What are your views on that?
So I think as far as regulator and insurance companies are concerned, they are trying their best. So we just had a 2 days back, the regulator has put another policyholder protection policy in place, which gives the rules and regulation. But when we look at the sales, at the time of sales, these things are, flaunted. Probably because of the commission, because of, the sales target that these people have. And this is a easy money. So we see a lot of mis-selling happening from banks, from brokers, where the commission structure is really high. So
Sure.
probably the money and the target, and they get to travel foreign if they achieve certain numbers. So all those things may be triggering them to mis-sell and do their short-term goals.
Out of say 100 policies, how many would you take a guess are missold? If you have to put a number. I don't know if there is a survey. Yeah.
There's no survey, but we always feel that this is what we are doing is maybe a tip of the iceberg. So I will talk about my latest experience where I told my daughter just came back from Melbourne and she wanted to buy a health insurance. I connected her to one of the oldest insurance agent and told her that you please go ahead and buy the health insurance. To my surprise, when I came back home, she had paid the premium, and I asked her, "What about the proposal form? Did you declare that you have PCOD and she has thyroid?" She said, "No, nobody asked. I just got the link and I paid." I said, "Every day I'm talking on the social media. This proposal form has to be filled, and you did not fill it. So that's my daughter." And the top agent who has missold. And when I connected with the agent, I said that, "Why did you not disclose?" He said because policy would unnecessarily get delayed. The underwriter will ask questions, and then I realized I'm asking closer to the month, and maybe some targets are there, and he just wanted to get the policy. So these are real time issues which are happening. So I would say mis-selling is happening about 50% of the time.
Wow. Okay, that's pretty high.
Because I would also rate non-disclosure as mis-selling because this would subsequently lead to claim rejection. We are buying product for us for the security, and if we do not get that security, it is a mis-selling, as per me.
You're right. So if you're going into the hospital or whatever, you have some other issue and then you go for the claim and then the record shows you've had this condition beforehand, then the insurance will claim that you've not declared it or and hence you're not covered because you were in breach of the policy, right? Essentially, I guess that's where you're coming from. Right?
Yes.
Yeah. So coming to Insurance Samadhan, I will touch upon working with 4 other co-founders later because that is a very, I wouldn't say extremely unique, but definitely a rare element where 5 people have come together and co-founded a company. We'll touch upon that experience, but we could start with talking a little bit about Insurance Samadhan itself and the services or the key products that you have and what you're looking to solve.
So basically, when we started, as I told you, we saw mis-selling of life insurance, and Sailesh and me, we both come from a background of life insurance. So we started with the mis-selling of life insurance. The product was primarily sold by banks, brokers, telecallers, where they would lure the customer that you will get an interest-free loan, or they have the data which say of the lapse policy, and they say that you have paid this premium in this year, and I can get you back some money along with bonuses or other things. So we started there. And slowly, we also started getting the health insurance claims. And we realized health insurance is becoming a bigger chunk. A lot of health claim rejections are happening because of these non-disclosures or, a customer is not aware of their rights in the product. They are not aware of the room rent capping. There are deductions happening, which, once they happen, the customer does not understand what are the kind of deduction and why this is happening. And this was more seen at the time of COVID, where a claim of 7 lakh was filed and the customer would get 2 lakh, 3 lakhs, and then the rest, he's not getting. So it started from COVID times, where we realize a lot of health claims are being rejected. A lot of death claims are being rejected, primarily of the, home loans. They started saying that, this was not disclosed, this was not disclosed. So all those things happened, and slowly the journey from life changed to health and general, and all those death claims. So currently we are handling about 33% of life insurance, and 60% is our health and 10% is GI. So that is the breakup. So health is significantly increasing in our portfolio. So all these grievances now within these 5 years have been automated. So our system has been, so we have a very strong tech platform where a customer can reach to us via a chatbot, WhatsApp, or they can call. And we also have an app called Polyfix. From there also they can start their journey. Our system recognizes whether the complaint is genuine or not. So Insurance Samadhan only accept genuine claims. We have identified parameters which assess a claim to be genuine or ingenuine, because there are ingenuine claim as well in the market. So once the system identifies that it is a genuine claim, then it will classify it into various buckets. So for example, if I'm talking about health insurance, it will classify the claim into various buckets depending upon the reason of rejection. So it can be hospitalization is not required. There may be indiscrepancy in the documents. Pre-existing disease is not disclosed. Admitted for diagnostic purposes. So these are like broader parameters. And then our system will generate the auto draft, which the customer can use to present the grievance. So grievance journey is like that. So we help the customer represent the case to the insurance company first. So if the insurance company solves the problem, then great. If the insurance company does not solve the problem, we take the case to IRDA, which is the regulator, and then we move to insurance ombudsman. So we have a success rate of 70 to 75%. So that's the success rate that we have. So we get the people their money back. Now, based on this experience, we realize that non-disclosure plays a major role in claim rejection. So we have built a feature in our app called Know Your Policy. So what a person has to do is to upload the product, and then the app would ask 3-4 questions, which would decide whether your claim would get through, or if there are any errors in the policy, something that you have missed out. For example, hypertension, diabetes, thyroid, which is a lifestyle disorder and very common. So if you have missed out on declaring, then our app will help you to declare it and help you with the claim thing. So we are on the other side as well. So when you buy the product, you can upload on the app, check if the product is okay, whether claim ready or not, and then you can proceed. And if the claim comes, you can use our app also. We have also realized that people are unable to file their reimbursement. So there is a pre-reimbursement, so all the expenses before the hospital and post. So people are not aware. We have also developed that in our app, so people can file reimbursement, pre, post, cashless rejection on the app. So basically, we are trying to cover entire service. So you buy the product from anywhere. We do not sell insurance. But we will take care of all the service issues, including the name change, address change, mobile number, you name anything, everything we are trying to cover for the policy holder.
So is this done through, I mean, just for, I'm getting a bit technical here, but are you using APIs to plug into with the insurance companies? How are you working from the technical side of things?
No, we are on the policy holder side. So everything, technology is with us. We have provided the power of Polyfix to the policy holder. So policy holder download the app, and then all the service issues are taken care. So he can file in case there is a claim rejection. He can check the insurance product that he has. He can file his reimbursements through that. If he wants a service request like a name change, mobile number change. So basically he can store all the products, all the insurance product. It will also analyze the portfolio and suggest him how much more insurance he should buy, whether life, health, or motor. So everything is in the app for the policyholder.
Okay, so from the other side to file those claims, etc., are you connecting with the insurance company's websites or apps, or is it done by the? I'm assuming it's done through you, or is it done directly by the
It's
user
done by
wants
the all the thing is done on the app. So the app already has the pre-filled email IDs of the insurer. So the
Sure.
customer just has to click send and the thing is done. So
It's
if there's a complaint form that has to be drafted, it is auto drafted. It is
Okay.
attached in the mail body. The mail ID is written. You just have to
Okay.
press a send button and it's gone.
Okay,
So it's that
understood.
simple.
Yeah. And how are insurance companies responding to this, working with you? How are you found that journey?
So I initially they were skeptical as to what we are doing because they have
Sure.
rejected a claim
Correct.
and we are coming back and fighting for that claim. Over a period of 4 5 years. So when we started, we met all the CEOs and we tried to meet all the insurance companies and introduce ourselves that this is what we are going to do. They were skeptical initially, but after 4 5 years, we have gone back to them and shown them the data that, see, so many complaints against you came and you only resolved. You have given us a success rate of 90%, 80%, depending on the type of companies. And
Sure.
now they're looking at it.
Okay.
We have not done anything. We just help the customer represent the case to you back and then to the ombudsman if you have not done it. And then it has come in the favor of policyholder. So these are all genuine claims. We are not instigating anyone, nothing. It's the customer are coming and you only are solving. We are just helping to fill the gap. So what we realize is that customer is not aware of the policy, what are the benefits under the policy. He's not aware of the rules and regulation which helps in policyholder protection. If we talk about health insurance, he also has to represent the health condition for which he was hospitalized. So all these three parameters we take care. So it's a simple draft. It looks like a simple draft, but it has a lot of AI knowledge which is coming over these 6 years. So all the awards of the ombudsman are fed, all the mails which were successfully, got us the resolution are fed. So system is getting intelligent and picking up the right pointers which help the customer get the resolution faster.
So we'll touch on on this, taking a deeper dive. One was I was keen to understand how are you determining the genuine claims versus the ingenuine, non-genuine claims as with the other false claims, right? You said you have a system, you have parameters. How did this come about, and how did you kind of automate it or use your technology for this?
So initially we were doing all the file work. So me and Salisa would sit down with the files, take the printout or the policy holder, study them and manually prepare all the drafts. Slowly we started building up. So when Ravi joined, he started to pick up the points. So he would sit with me and ask, ma'am, what are the pointers you have looked into this product? So we could tell him that 1, 2, 3. So now we have a list of all the brokers, advisors, banks where the mis-selling is happening. So it's in the system. So system has a trigger that, okay, this is
likely to be.
This one is right. This is mis-sold because this person has done this mis-selling to multiple people already and they are in the system. Okay. And then there are rules and regulations. Like I will tell you simple that if a telecaller is calling and he's selling the product, then the insurance company has to provide a script to the telecaller as to how to sell the product and how to detail the product. If the customer agree, then there is a script that the telecaller will use, and these scripts have to be maintained with the insurer for at least 3 years. So we just have to counter. Okay, we have the telecalling recording which is being missold. We ask the insurer, please share your recording, and they don't have it. So this is a small thing which a policy holder is not aware. This is a policy holder protection regulation which comes to play.
Correct. And I was curious, just taking a further step into this. in different markets, you have different approaches by insurers, like Hong Kong, as an example, where I am. You have tens of thousands of insurance agents for a 7.5 million, 7 point, so which is about roughly 75 lakh people population, right?
Right.
Which is very high density, right? But it's also a lot of insurance companies use these agents for their sales, and it's I say right, typically if you're sitting in a coffee shop, probably 5% of the people are somebody who's an insurance advisor and a person who's potential customer in Hong Kong. It's very very common story. But in India, we do. I mean, we've all probably been brought up meeting family members or family friends who are LIC agents, right? And then it became
Right,
Tata
right.
and the others as we grew
Yes.
up. What and now coming with telecallers and growth in the industry, what would you say is like the broad breakup of insurance companies directly selling versus using agents or third party sellers for policies? Would you
So
have a
if
view
you
on
talk
that?
about mis-selling, the mis-selling is primarily happening with the telecallers, brokers,
Okay.
and banks. There are very less advisors, I would say, who are doing mis-selling because
Okay.
advisor business is a long-term business. What we see is a telecaller, he's source the products and he sells the product to the broker. He's not taking the lifelong liability of the product.
Sure.
Whereas the advisor, who is a seasoned advisor, is going to stay with the customer for life and the family, like the
Yeah.
friends and family advisors that we have in
Correct.
India. So they generally do not mis-sell. It is the newer generation, the online sales and the telecallers, or somebody who has that fraudulent mind. They
Okay.
have this data of lapse policy. They have this data available, that these people are looking for loan. You type loan and, telecaller will start calling you that we are
Yeah.
providing you interest free loan or a very low interest rate. So you get tempted to them. So they know you, they have the data. So this is something like we feel a planned mission to,
Mm.
capture people who are susceptible to this.
Okay. And I know, I mean, scams have been a major conversation, or um, preying on weaker customers is something that's growing and is a challenge. I'm just switching gears a little bit to come back to Insurance Samadhan and understanding having multiple co-founders, right? How has that journey been? I know that you've had the Sailesh sir coming in and yourself in the initial times, and then Ravi joining and others coming in. But it's so interesting to see you have multiple co-founders. How have you guys kind of harmonize that? It's not, and is it 100%
Um,
harmony, or how do you manage differences and
So
challenges when?
it's like you will say 100% harmony because from the day one, the roles
Yeah.
are defined.
Okay.
So if I talk about Deepak Bhuvneshwari Uniyal, he's the CEO. So
Yeah.
he is only responsible for the investor relationship and dealing with some partners, and also his day-to-day routine is not to interfere into other things. So he would primarily do all the pitching, because to get fund also you need to do a lot of pitching,
Sure.
a lot of connections, meetings, and
Yeah.
networking. So he would primarily look at that aspect. Sally sir is a life insurance expert, so he would primarily look at the drafts and all of the life insurance, what is happening and all. I take
Yeah.
care of the operations, which means my job is to bring up the efficiency and the effectiveness of the team. So I am basically looking at how to reduce time and how to, be cost effective in the processes. So I take care of all the processes, which includes health, life, general. So you will see me asking question, how can we reduce this 2 minute, 1 minute, where can we save the money and all that. So that's my role. Ravi obviously is the CTO, so he takes care of the technology part, and Sanjay is a lawyer, so he takes care of all the legal aspects of the company, customers, all
Hmm.
those things. So
Okay.
we don't interfere into each other work. We may seek help if we need, but principally the roles are very well defined and in harmony and in sync with each other.
That's good to hear. And when it comes to
I think
deciding,
less than that would have been an issue, because otherwise who would handle what?
Yeah, and then as I said, five co-founders is very, highly unique in any industry for that matter, outside of family businesses, probably, right? Now, as you've grown, how have your focuses been, right? As you decide on products and you grow and you raise funds, etc. Of course, COVID coming in, there would have been a big spike in general insurance, both mis-selling claims, but also the policies, etc., going up. How has the company grown over this last 6 years pre-COVID, through COVID, and post-COVID, if I can use that time?
When we started, as I said, we were focusing on the selling of life insurance. And when COVID came, it was a huge spike in health insurance claim rejection, death claim rejections. So we started working on them and started helping the customer. Then we featured in Shark Tank,
Okay.
which was
Yeah.
another boost to us. On 24th Jan 2020, 21, it was telecasted and we grew 10 times immediately. So we got so many calls because that was also uh, that also helped in bringing trust to the
Sure.
policy holder who are already disappointed, have been missold. They're afraid to share their,
Story.
policy documents with us or the documents with us. So featuring in Shark Tank was a big boost for us. And then we started diversifying into general insurance. A lot of such claims came of fire, cyclone, and all those property claims. We got a lot of motor claims, health is there, life is there, death claims came. So people had a lot of trust. And after Shark Tank, there's no looking back. So as I said, grievance journey is now completely automated. We are now looking at how to help the person to understand the product. So we are reaching out to hospitals. I'm sitting in the hospital and observing the patient journey. So what I realize when the patient reaches the hospital, he
Yeah.
is struggling to understand the product, whether claim will be given or not given.
Correct.
And
Yeah.
the TPA desk of the hospital is making him run, go talk to your agent, talk to your insurance company.
Yeah.
We don't have time. We can't tell you. So what we have done is to build know your policy where at least he would know whether the treatment that he's undergoing, how much of it is covered, is there a room rent capping? Because
Yeah.
when we buy insurance, we keep it as a document. We don't remember the benefit and the
Correct.
features unless the usage arrives.
Yes.
So we are trying to reach out to hospitals and improve the journey of the patient. So we said use know your policy, and if in case still he has question, he can connect to our experts. We will help them. We will also help them understand how much is the pre and post reimbursement, because that also people are not aware and they don't continue the treatment after hospitalization. They don't understand that the
Yeah.
physiotherapy is covered. They can take it, but they are afraid, so they don't take it because they are not aware. So we are trying to improve the utility of the product that they have in the hospitals as well. So we are trying to reach to hospitals. So we are trying to do everything possible so that the trust in the insurance is built again and people continue to buy insurance as a product and keep it, and not to worry about the usage. We are there.
Okay, fair. Now, the Shark Tank conversation is very interesting because I would love to hear how you guys decided to apply for Shark Tank, how that came about, especially given quite a few times in Shark Tanks, both India as well as internationally in the US, it is about physical products, right? And
Yeah.
applications or things like insurance or even fintechs is a rarity. Not that it doesn't happen, it's a rarity. So, what inspired you guys to go to Shark Tank, and how was that experience? Yeah.
I think this came from people.
Okay.
One of the investor told us, who was in Mumbai, that this is happening and let's you go and file the application. So
Okay.
Deepak filed the application and we got selected in round one, and then there was a round two in Dwarka.
Okay.
And then when he came to me and Ravi that we need to go like this. And I was like little against shy on the TV. I said, no, I will not go.
Sure.
You go. Then
Okay.
she explained me that, this is a free marketing, Shilpa, please understand.
Yeah.
We don't have fund. We are a startup. Going there will give us a big boost. And that is where we agreed, and, we three went. And thankfully, the idea was unique. And this is we are the only one in India, in fact, in Asia, doing this kind of work. So it was
Mhm.
very easy for us to pitch. Even the sharks had similar experience. Anyone who has this experience would understand the pain of the
Correct.
policy
Yeah.
holder. So sharks also had a similar experience, and it was Piyush Bansal who was, who came forward and offered us 1 crore for 4% equity.
Yeah.
So and that's all, set. We were all set then to growth part.
Great. Now look, it's a few lessons there, right? One being the element of trying. You're not going to lose much in trying and then going for
Yes.
it. And secondly, is as young entrepreneurs or young startups, right? You want to maximize on what you can leverage without having to necessarily pay for it, right? How can you get
Right,
and
right.
then the marketing piece, even if you didn't get the funding, the marketing itself in terms of being covered by crores of people seeing it is a huge, and you could almost
So we
quantify
were
it.
not aware
Yeah,
it is
yeah.
going to be so much of success because we were in season one. That was the first
Yeah,
time,
first season,
Shark
yeah,
Tank arrived in India, and it became a
correct,
huge
yeah,
success.
yeah. So now, how has your journey been as a woman co-founder in the industry? Right, not as often. We are seeing an increase in the number of women coming in and founding both in fintech and insurtech in India. But what has been your journey as such? Have you found any difficulties or challenges, or it's been fairly regular? What have you found?
So journey has been good because I have been saved by four other co-founders. As a woman, what challenge frankly comes is the networking part. You're getting up from your seat and connecting with people is something that is not coming easily. As I said in Shark Tank, also I was literally shy that on the screen I don't want to go. So all those apprehensions I had when there were media coverages, I used to feel very shy and I was not very comfortable going there. But in this journey, I learned that this is a part and parcel, and you have to do it. And frankly, now I am enjoying that. From So a lot of learning has happened in the way. I am a science student. I'm an engineering graduate. So to understand finances, to understand what these investors are talking, what are the sheets and what are the projection, 5 years projection, and what is this, accrued revenue, and all those things. So you have to study finance. I studied finance. Then, since it was a technology product, I had always been in sales and training. So I had to learn product management to understand what they are talking, what is the technology team talking all about, what is this product, and how to design a product. So, all throughout the journey, I realized that you have to update yourself a lot, a lot. You have to learn all the aspects because investor may ask you any question. Acquisition cost was something new to me. What is acquisition cost suddenly? So you have to understand the marketing, digital marketing, all those things. So it is a complete turnaround for me, balancing both home and learning and taking care of Insurance Samadhan. So I have a new baby, Insurance Samadhan. For that, I have to really struggle and work very hard to cope up with the growth.
Great. I mean, it's fascinating. And how are you seeing? And just broadly speaking, two parts. How are you seeing in the insurance industry grow in India in the coming years, and insurtech industry? And secondly, how is Insurance Samadhan planning to supplement that or support that?
I think people are now getting more aware. COVID has been a good learning for everyone in terms of having insurance products in place. And also the regulator is very much focused, including the government. They are also offering insurance product to everyone, trying to cover everyone. Uh, So I feel insurance industry is at a very small level in India now, and it has to grow. So we have this production insurance for all by 2047, which is the dream of IRD and the insurance company. So definitely, I think we will make it insurance for all by 2047. And Obviously, Insurance Samadhan will grow because we are on the servicing side and we are actively looking at what are the challenges customers are facing, policyholder are facing, and we are aligned with the industry to build that trust and the importance of having an insurance product, whether it is a term plan or a health insurance plan. And we also promote that you should have a property plan looking at the natural calamities which is happening all around. So all these products are important, and we are with the industry in the growth story of India.
So if we had to talk about, say, two, three products that you see growing the most in the coming 5 years, and also segment-wise, are there any specific segments or geographies that you see growing alongside this in the next 5 years?
So I think health insurance is one product which everyone is looking at. There are specific cancer products which also are becoming important because the way cancer is growing, it is becoming a household issue nowadays. Earlier, we used to have one case somewhere in a year, and now it is spreading like anything. So, these cancer products, health insurance, people are understanding the importance of term insurance, early death, pension product, because earlier, our parents were protected by the government pension. Now there is no pension, and I'm sure people will slowly realize. And there's a lot of talks about, getting retired early. So all those things would encourage such products, term, health, and pension, which I feel is important along with the cancer protection products and critical illness.
Okay. And any geographies or urban versus rural or tier two urban that you're seeing grow, or is it all uniform across that you say?
So urban will grow faster, obviously, because here the awareness is more. In the rural side, I think government is doing a great job with Ayushman Bharat and the state schemes that are coming. So once they start using and they understand the importance, I'm sure they would also try to buy their personal products. And the insurer, the regulator is also working towards, reducing the cost. Now let's look if they can reduce the GST to 5%, which will also reduce the premiums for
Correct.
people, making it more affordable.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay. Look, it is a space that needs to fundamentally grow as the economy grows and more people need to get insurance cover. As you rightly said, with Ayushman Bharat and other schemes, you are seeing the government coming up with insurance policies to support these. Obviously, not missold, but well targeted. And as more people get to understand basic insurance, will probably move up in terms of adding other non-essential insurance, let's put it that way, as their understanding grows as well. So thank you so much, Shilpa, for having joined us today on the Fintech Asia Edge podcast. Very exciting to hear about what you've been doing and the growth you've had in the last 6 years, and also a space that needs a lot of attention, where when people are coming into insurance, as you said, right, we buy insurance policy and you forget it till you really need it in it's an emergency kind of situation or a very critical time in your life, and a lot of people are not able to handle it well or are struggling to get, and you take whatever you get at that time kind of conversations. But if you're better planned, it is very useful for how you can encounter these emergencies in life, right? So thanks once again, and wishing Insurance Samadhan and yourself best of luck for the coming times.
Thank you so much. Thanks.
Thank you. Audience, stay tuned for more conversations coming from India and the broader Web3 and FinTech space. Click like and subscribe to our channel. Watch for more in the future. Thank you very much.